Stevens Law is meant to prevent other needless deaths in hit and run or minimize them. Tina Pickett and Matt Baker have introduced a H.R. 2093, which will make passengers assist hit and run victims by getting help for them if their good for nothing driver refuses to do his civic, moral, and legal duty. I would appreciate it if you give support to both Matt Baker and Tina Pickett on this very courageous bill to do things right and raise our consciousness. There's also State Senator Gene Yaw. He's working on modifying the current law, which makes the passengers do something if the driver is physically incapacitated. And he wants to include or refuses to do that. Then the passengers would be required to take action. So that's another approach that he's working on. Yes, Stephen Bacon was snuffed out. His life was snuffed out on March 22nd, 2007. And regardless of the state you live in, you might want to get involved in this. Two states, Vermont and Minnesota, require citizens to render emergency assistance. And that doesn't mean going out in the ice and saving someone. That means contacting the authorities to get help for these people. And it doesn't matter in the case of these two states where it happens, in a car, on a boat, in the woods, whatever. They're supposed to do it. And we need that social consciousness. Stephen Bacon, like I said, was snuffed out like a piece of garbage, left on the side of the road in a ravine for like 11 or 12 hours before his body was discovered. And these lousy, good-for-nothing lowlifes just left him there. Everybody was looking out for their own butts. They wanted to sober up. And we have to stop this. We have to make the passengers part of the solution, because right now they're not. This is the bill which Tina Pickett has put together, and God bless her for doing that. This is a House bill in Pennsylvania, number 2093, introduced by Tina Pickett and Matt Baker, Christina DeCosta, Crichton, John Evans, Everett, Fleck, Geist, Gillespie, Gingrich, Rusilla, Hess, M. Keller, Killian, Major, McCosey, Mole, O'Neill, Phillips, Reed, Rower, Saylor, Scavello, Stevenson, Swanger, Volkovich, Watson, and Horniman back on November 17, 2009. This has been a culmination of a lot of lobbying, but all's well that ends well, and it's not over yet. But this is as a result of the death of Stevens Baker, and hopefully the law will be known as Stevens Law. And this bill is similar to the one in New York State that was introduced by Representative Thamas O'Mara. And as a result of his efforts, this bill has been written, and it's about the responsibility of passengers in hit-and-run vehicles being able to totally forget what happened and not try to aid the victim. Currently, a passenger in a hit-and-run vehicle can just basically, or passengers can basically, continue to drink Coke or eat potato chips while they watch a person die on the side of the road. There's no legal requirement for them to help save the person that their driver hit. And this has to change. There's two states, one is Minnesota and one is Vermont, where anybody is required to seek help for someone in distress. They don't have to put themselves at risk, but they have to try to get help and seek help and get someone to come and help a person who they see is in peril. This happened in New York State. There were 2 cars involved. There was a political. One was a son of one of the drivers was a son of a politician running for office, and it's taken, I guess, well over maybe almost close to 2 years, at least a year, for this law to be brought forth. Now, both these laws are in the Transportation Committee's hands, both in New York and Pennsylvania, and what I'd like you to do is send some emails and faxes to those committees and see if you can get them off their butt and write some letters to the editor, because this law could save your life or the life of a loved one or a friend, because currently too many people are left to die, and they die. And even the ones who survive, a lot of them are messed up for life. So anyhow, please look into Stevens Law, and that would be great. Hello, this is the Transportation Committee. You have to contact them. They're the ones who are stopping this bill from going through. Mr. Thamas O'Mara, Representative Thamas O'Mara of New York, started the first Stevens Law bill up in New York State, and that too is in the Transportation Committee. But regardless of which state you're from, send a text from this bill to your own elected officials in your state and ask them to get this thing going. Make Stevens Law a universal law across the United States to make passengers helpful. This is a bill that Representative Thamas O'Mara of New York put through. It preceded Tina Pickett's bill in Pennsylvania, and probably was instrumental in getting everything started. This is called Stevens Law, and it's about Stephen Bacon, who was hit on his bicycle in New York State, even though he lived in Gillette, Pennsylvania. And the people knew he was hit. No one did anything. The driver didn't do anything. The passengers didn't do anything. There's 2 cars involved, and it gets pretty complicated. But the fact of the matter is, right now, passengers are not required to do anything in this law if it's passed. Will help that happen, and it gives passengers sort of liability. After you don't have to be a passenger. Like driving is not a right, it's a privilege, so is being a passenger. And State Representative Thamas O'Mara has made this what I think a good start, and Tina Pickett has picked up the baton and she's running with it. And I think we have to support these people and help them get it through the various transportation committees and get this thing going. So please contact your state representatives both in the Senate and the Assembly, regardless if you're in New York or Pennsylvania. Ask them to take a look at this law and see what you can do to help get your state to enact a similar law, so that people, when they're struck on the side of the road, they'll have a better chance of being rescued and have a higher survival rate. I think there's over 1,000 people killed with hit and run, and for every 1,000, there's another 17,000 that are injured, really seriously injured. I believe that's the numbers. Anyhow, please look into this. This is, I think, worth pushing. Thanks. Regardless of what state you live in, please try to get a Stevens Law enacted in your state to make passengers responsible for calling 911 to get help for the hit-and-run victims, even if the driver doesn't want to do anything. This is a very important bill, and thank you, Tina Pickett, and thank you, Matt Baker, and thank you, Representative Tom O'Mara, for trying to make this happen. God bless you all.